Namaskar, everyone. Welcome to Sunday. I often wonder when you are doing your self observation whether you're observing your own ego. It's easy to observe everything beside the ego because the ego is observing, right? We're seeing everything outside of the ego. But when I speak of self observation, I speak also of observing your ego. How is your ego driven? What is your ego attached to? What is your ego preoccupied with? What are the desires that drive your ego? What are the ego patterns that hold you hostage to the external world? And what are the ego drives that can lift you and liberate you? Have you really looked at the ego? Ahankara? We need to be observers of the ego. You aren't going to go anywhere if you don't observe the ego. Is your ego an instrument? Or is your ego power hungry? Is your ego peaceful and contented? Or is your ego restlessly driven by old patterns in the consciousness? You know, when I was young, I thought I was too self-conscious because I used to observe myself and how I was reacting to things. And then, of course, everybody is saying you need to be extrovert. You need to be going after things. I couldn't help but be self-observant. And I thought it was a bad quality. But when I got into spirituality, that self-consciousness was heightened. And it was a blessing. Because that helped me to go deeper into myself and to liberate myself. The Bhagavad Gita says, lift yourself by yourself. For yourself can be your friend or yourself can be your enemy. It's speaking to the ego, about the ego. One of the things that the ego is so caught up in is attachment to the world and to the senses, to the sensory existence, to the food, to the acquisition of things, possessions, to pleasure, hopelessly driven by pleasures in some cases. And it lacks self-control. We lack self-control, caught in the ego, hopelessly attached to the world. How can we ever hope to experience something greater? Your brain is wired for ecstasy. Those who are ignorant, they try to use substances. Those who are more wise learn how to use the prana to get to the centers of ecstasy in the brain. Actually, that's what I was doing in the meditation. When I couldn't feel supported from your field, I went into my field. And I started to go, I want these ecstatic centers, I want to play with them. If you look at the video and you look at me meditating, I was trying to get to these centers of ecstasy. Because I didn't feel hugely supported by the field today. But I wanted to support the field. So I went deeper into my being, got to the centers of ecstasy, and stayed there. Find me if you can. So we have the power within us to get to these centers of ecstasy, but we have to train the ego. Who will train the ego? Who will train the ego when it's wild and restless? Allowing uncontrolled senses. Who will control the ego? Only the divine within can. Only the guru within can. Only the kundalini energy within you can. And if you don't find her, if you don't find the guru inside, you'll be hopelessly caught in the ego outside. And the worst is, that one who think they know, knows not. But the one who knows that they know not, truly knows. Humility. Once we think we know, that's it. We cannot learn. But one of the most beautiful things in training the ego is to teach the ego to love. And that is what happened to me in the ashram of Baba Muktananda. My ego got so absorbed in love. And I loved the experience. And I loved being in love and loving. And that took me the whole journey. Can the ego be drowned in love? Can the ego just be drowned in love? Can you repeat the mantra with love? Can you work the breath with love? Can you reach out to every cell in love? Where's the love? Where's the love? Usika, where's the love? Drown the ego in love. It's the easiest way in this yuga. Notice when I'm chanting with you, I bring you into a field of oneness and lovingness. Your mind doesn't have time to think. And I absolutely loved it. Because when we get into the depth of the kirtan, oh my God, it's just heavenly. Mind is gone. Ego is swooning in love. And peace is automatically there. And the most beautiful thing about love, when you really have it, is that you begin to see the importance of it. It changes relationships. It changes well-being. It gives confidence. And it holds you in God. You remember the words of the Christ? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall experience God. And the two commandments he gave, and which he says, all the laws and all the prophets hang on these two commandments. Love God with your whole being, he said, with all of your might. And love your neighbor. So I'll give you another commandment. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love, love, love. The Buddha preached love. Love one another. Meet hate with love. So if you really truly want to spiritualize the ego, you have to know love. And I longed for that. And in this sacred space in India, it was awakened within me, never to be extinguished again, never to be held hostage. My love was freed. Can yours be? Can you live in the freedom of love? Can you break the ego barriers to not loving? How many times should we forgive, Master? The Christ was asked. 70 times 7. Which means infinite number of times. Love, love, love. Drown the ego in love. Drown the ego in love. If you want to understand the secret to liberation, drown the ego in love. When you begin the contemplation, you can get so caught in the ego thinking you know. The contemplative one has to be very careful because they can develop big egos, but the loving one drowns the ego in bliss. I wish all of you a happy Sunday, everybody. Find the secret to love. Love seeks itself. Love is seeking to express itself in and through you. Don't hold it back. Natural instinct of the soul is to love. That's what I am. That's why I exist. I love my body. I love my world. I love my role in this existence. I love the human experience. What is it that I don't love? And I love to play. I can be challenged by all the things around me. But no, love conquers. Love conquers all. Love keeps me humble. Love protects me. Love nourishes me. Why should I move away from love? Have a blessed day, everyone. Namaskar. Meet the challenge to love. Namaskar.